the American Compass podcast with Oren. Interesting guy, was a Romney policy advisor, went from kind of a traditional free trade economist to somebody who is much more focused on, hey, we need production capacity here at home. And so Oren had Robert Bryce on the podcast this week, and they were talking about what it's going to take to actually change American policy to give onshoring of these types of activities, the mining and the production of these rare earth minerals, a chance. Let's listen.
You've seen where different companies have tried to get into the market and get into the rare earth space. Well, then China will look at that and say, oh, you want to compete with us? Well, how about if we just drop the price by half or by, 90%? So this is the other issue that, and I know you've been vocal on the tariffs and the rest of it, but I think this is what, is going to be particularly hard for the U.S. and the rest of the rest of the Western countries to respond to, is that to counter China's dominance of these strategic elements, it's going to require sustained government backing and potentially enormous losses to have government-sponsored entities that are going to be able to effectively compete with China on the supply side.
This is what we call foreshadowing in the entertainment business, is talking about massive government intervention in the market. This is not an argument you would have expected to see here on a Set It Right podcast a few years ago, by the way. But let's leave the politics aside. Ben, what do you make of Mr. Bryce's argument here that the only way the U.S. is going to compete on these materials is with large-scale sustained government intervention?
Yeah, sustained, I think, is the key word there, right? If this is just one policy that flips in 2 years or in 3 years and then flips again, that's not sustained. Right. So I think the real question is, like everything, in execution. So how do we make this about something that is sustained? And the way to do that, I think, is you have to take this on as like a whole country effort, right? When you look at the F-35, and we all know it's constructed in how many congressional districts, is that 400 or more? You need to have the same idea here. How do we make this so everybody in America benefits from this, and everybody in America wants to have this, so that it lasts through administrative changes, it lasts through congressional changes?
See, this is spoken like a guy who pays a lobbyist. I love it. He understands the congressional relations strategy. No, this is big. There's where my mind goes on this, right? We're seeing the Dr. Elon Musk kind of piping on in social media the last few weeks about the American Uniparty, talking about debt and how we just, both parties spend and spend and spend. Ben, here we're talking about trying to drive bipartisan consensus around sustained investment in this topic. Is the Uniparty what we want?
We need a Uniparty for critical minerals, right?
So we don't want the Uniparty on debt, but we want it on critical minerals. It is interesting, right? It's like where can we still forge cross-party consensus?